So this morning we have made it to Gyor Hungary, and we are standing in front of their city hall, and we want to show it to you guys. It is spectacular, probably, I guess, the most beautiful city hall I've ever seen for sure. So we'll take a look around. The city hall is sometimes referred to as Gyor's wedding cake due to its ornate design and decorative elements. I was curious about the chicken in the front. Well, apparently back in the 1500s, Győr was occupied by the Ottoman Empire, and a commander said that they would be liberated, but not until the iron rooster atop the bastion crowed. Apparently, 4 years later, in 1598, a Hungarian cobbler climbed the bastion under the cover of night and mimicked a rooster's crow using a trumpet. The Turks, believing the prophecy had come true, panicked and fled, allowing Hungarian and Austrian forces to reclaim the city. So that's the reason that you will see a number of iron chickens around the city of Győr. The City Hall building is still fully functional today, used for obviously administrative purposes. However, there are guided tours available throughout the year, but only typically during cultural events or heritage days. So make sure if you want a tour that you check out a calendar or visit their website before attempting to go inside. Before coming here, we really didn't know anything about Győr. It was just a place on a map that was in between a couple of cities that we were visiting, and we thought it might be nice to stay a night or two and see what they had to offer. I can tell you that we were pleasantly surprised and both agree that it is a city that we possibly would come back to in the future. A lot of reviews said there wasn't a lot going on, which fit us just fine, but there is so much history in the city and beauty that we were very, very pleasantly surprised. We noticed a lot of these, I guess, hanging signs outside of businesses, and we remember from when we were in Salzburg that the tour guide told us that many times businesses back in medieval days would put, I guess, a sign that depicted what the business was instead of actual wording on it. That was to help people who were unable to read to determine what type of business was inside. This is the main city square in Győr, and I've got the name of it up here on the screen. I'm not even going to attempt to announce it, but there's a lot of history here, a lot of restaurants that people come out at night and sit and enjoy the square. And apparently, throughout the year, it's also a center for events and concerts. And I believe during Christmas, there will be Christmas markets here as well. And yes, here's another chicken statue. This one was on the other side of the square, actually. But one of the things that was we enjoyed doing was just walking around the Old Town area. There were so many restaurants and various things to see. We did not go into any of the museums. There are a number of them down there in the area, but honestly, you could go here and spend a couple of days and not spend any money for activities. There's so many things available just walking around. There's modern restaurants, there's even a McDonald's, there's a KFC, all the way up to restaurants that have been there for hundreds of years. But you definitely can find something in your price range. You do not have to go and spend a ton of money. We obviously were on a budget. The room we stayed in was in a great location, right in the heart of the city, right down that street there that you're looking at. But unfortunately, it had a very minuscule kitchenette that was not very well equipped. So we did not do any cooking, and we were only there for a couple of nights. So it really wasn't worth us going out and buying a bunch of groceries. So we did utilize some fast food locations just to kind of compensate our budget, I guess, or not really compensate, but to help on the budget. And then I wanted to show you that there's so many beautiful churches in the area here, just right outside of where we were staying, right outside of our apartment door. This particular one we did not go into. This one, this statue here, I thought was interesting. The poor deer obviously has been killed, but he looks like he is just nothing but skin and bones. So you walking is a great activity in Győr. We were there 2 days, and it seemed like every street we walked down, it was something else to discover. And as we're walking up this little hill here, we had no idea as to what we were about to see. Probably one of the most beautiful things, definitely in Győr, but maybe one of the most beautiful things that we've seen in all of Europe thus far. And it was this church here. And we weren't sure if it was open, but to our surprise, it was. This is the Cathedral Basilica of the Assumption of Our Lady, and it was originally constructed in the early 11th century and underwent major renovation in the 17th century. And as we're walking through these doors, we really weren't sure what we were going to see. There was no one there. I think we finally did hear a couple of guys or a couple of people upstairs, maybe doing some minor construction or something, but the entire location was empty, and we were shocked at what we were about to see. The beauty of this cathedral was amazing. I mean, just look at the carvings on the pews and so much gold work here. The video really does not do it justice. It was amazing. And the paintings on the ceilings and the walls were just breathtaking. An interesting fact is that the church was elevated to the status of a minor basilica by Pope John Paul II in 1996, recognizing its importance in the Catholic faith. Of course, when we were in Budapest, we did tour one of the cathedrals there and paid an entrance fee. But here, this entire facility was free for you just to wander around and enjoy the artifacts like this one. Saint Ladislaus I of Hungary died in 1095 and was originally buried in another location in Romania. After his canonization in 1192, his tomb was opened and his skull was placed in what is known as the Herm of Saint Ladislaus, and that's what you see in the gold bust, I guess you would call it, but it's housed here in this particular location in Győr. This is just another example of some of the free things that you can find in Europe. Yes, you can spend a ton of money if you want to, but there's also beauty and history and things that you can um, that are budget friendly that you don't have to break the bank in doing. Yes, you may not have the perfect Instagram photo, but that's okay because you're still going to get the culture and some of the magnificent experiences that these places have to offer.